Hello. Okay. Um, mm, it's a bit distracting to hear my own voice. Okay. I think now I don't hear myself, and I think I hope you should hear me fine. Um, yes. If you happen to be here and you don't hear me, let me know. I think let me go back to where I was. We'll start in a minute, just testing if everything is working, and then we start immediately. Mm, mm.
Hey, this deep house mix has no vocals in it, so it's perfect for learning.
This is better. Okay, first I'm trying to, I want Sunlight to be a competitive intelligence platform for companies, but it's still very broad. I need to decide which niche that I want to focus on because then it becomes easier for me to find people in that niche, right? So I went to ChatGPT and this is the first thing I asked, right? So what kind of companies have publicly available data? Because that's what I need to use as my data source. I don't have internal data. And the reason I want to build this, the reason is I want to build a competitive intelligence platform like Clue. So I can quickly show you what Clue is. It's basically this. They are a competitive intelligence platform. Um, you can see a dashboard where you can just like, I believe, monitor what competition is doing. So it's a good example where you can ask things like how many times did Stripe come up in competitive sales calls in the last 3 months. I believe they also have internal data source. In our case, we don't have internal data source. We need to focus on something external. So, but I wanted made for a niche where data can be scraped online and is publicly available, right? So that's kind of like the requirement for me. So given this, ChatGPT suggested a few niches, which is Atlassian marketplace vendors, where turns out there's a lot of publicly available data, but honestly, I have no understanding of Atlassian marketplace. Let's go take a look at it. Um, a friend of mine mentioned about this yesterday and how there are a lot of businesses that work on top of Atlassian. ServiceNow, Jira integration with real-time two-way sync. So wait, let's see what else is there. Admin tools, data analytics, AI, runs on Atlassian, Zephyr, um, scale test management. I think if you go into one, the competitive intelligence right now that you can see is some reviews, of course, what people are saying, some pricing, some privacy security, installation, similar apps. So it's pretty basic, right? Uh, I think what had in mind was something a little more different than this. I was thinking more like, let's see. I was thinking more like something that has more online data that's available, um, and useful for SaaS companies mostly. So the other niche is Shopify apps. I think this is a no-brainer. But I have no idea why someone would use a competitive analysis tool for a Shopify app. This is something that I don't know yet. Salesforce, developer tools. You don't actually want a niche with merely lots of public data. Amazon sellers have mountains of public data. Restaurants have mountains of public data. Hotels, those aren't necessarily clue style customers. You want intersection public data, competitive. Competitors change frequently. Competition materially affects revenue. $1 million businesses makes sense. Data that can be normalized across companies. Really interesting concept. Rather than think what industry can scrape, what industry has a public database that effectively forces every competitor to publish the same information? Okay. Clue for Atlassian marketplace vendors. Structured data, concentrated ecosystem, meaningful SaaS. Clue for developer tool companies. Best long-term company. Uh, More technically difficult, but much deeper proprietary intelligence. Your mode becomes understanding docs, API, GitHub packages, rather than merely scraping. Developer tool companies are becoming a thing these days because there's a lot of infrastructure companies that are coming up in this AI space. Competitive intelligence for Jira app vendors. Your initial database might contain only 50 companies, but for those 50, you know everything. Then a customer opens the dashboard immediately, competitor moved, raise a seat price, we launch capacity planning. Okay. This companies add AI to the marketplace, market concern of 20 apps, no advertise. This is a much stronger wedge than building. I think Shopify has quite a few new, like Shopify seems to be one of the most profitable markets. Let's see, is there, why would people use um, Shopify competitive intelligence platform? What kind of decisions do they take with it? Can you bring some evidence to show why? Is there, are there any Reddit posts or other channels where this can be validated? I think, yeah, before we go into building, it's important we know the exact niche because without the niche, I think it kind of it won't work, right? So let's see what's wrong with ChatGPT. Without the niche, it's going to be too broad, and I don't think anyone will pay for it. But I think Shopify is a good bet because I've seen, like, if you go to trustmrr.com and you can just look at Shopify. Oh, this is add a startup, yeah. I think if you dashboard, no. Uh, Let me see. I think explore the marketplace. So Shopify. So you can see there are many Shopify startups that make quite a bit in revenue. Doesn't allow me to search through just. Okay, I think all of them are Shopify. Look at this. They're making 8485 MRR for managing product listing, orders, analytics on Etsy, Amazon, and Shopify. So asking price 1.2 million. Wow, crazy. Let's see, Shopify, CloudFast is a product. So many for sale. Dutch print. Let's see, his founders. If this guy does something related to Shopify, I think. Okay, well, SaaS platform for managing listings like Shopify. It's the same thing. Dodge Print, what else? Let's see one more Shopify. Just want to see if the apps in the space are actually making good money. This doesn't all-time revenue 29K. Custom headless Shopify storefronts with frame. Well, it's not. I think if you are a part of the Shopify marketplace, I think you get natural distribution, but it's not as easy to just build a Shopify app and expect users to come. So I think we need a different strategy to this. Okay, let's go back into AI and see. There's real evidence that Shopify app vendors already perform competitive religious work. The question is, does the problem exist in more whether there's enough willingness to pay? Then this the strongest case is not executive readiness, because most operational. Tell me what changed in my Shopify App Store category and what I should do about it. Okay, let's see. Why Shopify e-commerce market? Push out his journey, learning success taught me, inspired me to believe in Shopify as a platform. When was this? 7 years ago. This probably isn't so relevant anymore. See, this is some of the drawbacks in like doing any kind of research with AI. This isn't the Shopify funnel. This is the App Store install requirement. Okay, how should we? Um, I think maybe it's better for me to focus on focus on the company that already uses a product and see how I can also make it useful for them so I don't lose them as a customer. So let me see. One Ablefy is a company that already needs competitive intelligence. Does that fall into a category where demand can be validated? Let's see if that works out. So evidence people actually monitor it strong. Opportunity for deeper intelligence, potentially yes. Clue for Shopify, AI market analysis for Shopify companies turns into product pricing and growth decisions. Okay, okay. So what do we do? So competitive is platform product. First, we need to find a niche. So that's what we're doing right now. And let me go back to my AI. Sablefy falls into the category where competitive is unusually easy to validate. In fact, I think it's more promising. Knowledge commerce or creator commerce platforms. SaaS plus LMS plus creator economy. I would call creator commerce platforms or knowledge commerce platforms. Is this a growing market? And is there a need for continuous monitoring? Validate through credible sources. I don't know which sources it will look at, but I'm curious. Um, the next is not specifically 50 able file like companies to answer how many expressly mentioned competitive intelligence. The created knowledge commerce is structurally growing and whether, okay. So it needs to, I need to understand if there's going to be a growing and continuous market for me to sell it to more people. Because if I only sell it to one, um, that's not very helpful. And if the market isn't growing, then it hits a cap at some point. So need to be very careful before putting any time into it. The picture's nuance. The platform itself is more mature and not uniformly hyper growth. So I guess if it cannot be this niche as a creator platform, maybe the niche can be a slightly larger bucket. Call this growing strategic active market rather than hyper growth. And the evidence for continuous competitive market is super strong. Monitoring is stronger than the evidence for exact TAM of AbleFi like software. There isn't a clear, yeah. So what if it's like the creator economy? Um, so it's competitive intelligence tool for creator commerce. I mean, it would be, Paul Graham said on Y Combinator that like do things that don't scale. Maybe, maybe it's not a bad thing to be hyper focused on creator commerce after all. Let's see what it does. Macro creator activity, commerce and monetization are growing. Public comparable Thinkific is growing into commerce. Yeah, does this mean companies will buy a CI platform? Product velocity establishes a need for information. Does not automatically establish willingness to pay for your software. Hmm. Beyond creator economy, this is vertical commerce SaaS. Okay. Software plus payment plus business operations are merging. Vertical commerce for knowledge businesses. Some dynamics. Interesting. So instead of going too deep into creator economy, go into vertical commerce SaaS, fitness software, mind body,
The body Glow First.
um, field service software. Something happened with the voice, I think. Events ticketing. So my confidence in general direction has increased. Don't necessarily build proof for creative platforms. Investigate. Okay, I think there's something over here. Let's maybe just quickly capture that, right? So the fine niche can be competitive intelligence for vertical, what is it? Vertical SaaS, vertical commerce SaaS. This could be a this could be a nice one, right? Uh, Niche. Um, okay, let's spend a little more time on this and just validate what does that actually look like. So then it informs what we design and how we do things and everything, right? So tell me, what are I want to understand the market for vertical SaaS. Um, Also, I also pay for this thing called Idea Browser, where I can research an idea. So I'm going to do that anyway. And let's see what that research your idea. Yeah. So let me first write a short paragraph about the vertical commerce SaaS opportunity. So let me understand from Idea Browser what it. Okay. So now let me put this here and let me research my idea and see what it is. It's a paid tool. So if you're looking to do it for free, it won't, you need to pay, I believe, some $3,000 a year to use this tool. Let's see. So data accuracy and timelines, AI-driven predictive analysis. Okay, let's generate a report. Let's take this, and then while this is happening, it's going back to this one. So increasingly combine industry-specific software with payments, financing, marketplaces, and other transaction-based services. In sectors such as creator commerce, restaurants, wellness, field services, and events, competitors frequently change pricing, transaction fees, product capabilities, integrations, and geographic availability, much of which is publicly observable. These changes directly affect pricing, positioning, sales, subscription, creator. Okay, vertical commerce SaaS. It's an interesting niche. Um, Tell me, is there any evidence for this as a growing market? Is there is there is there a demand for CI platforms for this niche? Find credible evidence. Let's see if we can find something here that makes the case even more stronger. I'm separating the evidence into two layers: market growth for vertical SaaS plus embedded systems, and a proof that companies in these verticals already fund CI work. Having competition definitely shows that there is a demand here. If there is no competition, there's probably not a lot of demand. Demand signal generic PMM job. description. Service Titan has built a dedicated CI function, Java container monetization. What is this Service Titan? Seems very niche jobber. Top home and commercial software. Interesting. So this is vertical because it's obviously focusing on a very specific vertical, like housing. SaaS. I think it's a sounds like a very interesting niche. This growing market, there's also credible evidence that companies in this category spend resources on competitive intelligence. That part is not yet fully validated. And also credible, the part that is not fully validated, whether specifically a vertical CI platform rather than Cray on internal analysis. The underlying vertical commerce SaaS is growing. The strongest evidence from McKinsey integrated software. I think yes, vertical SaaS will definitely grow, especially in this AI market. I believe Y Combinator also came up with this call for startups, and one of the space that they wanted to focus on is vertical AI startups. So clearly, this holds some water there. Okay, payment processing flow through ISV is about 20% per year for the previous 5 years, from roughly 6.5 billion to projected 16 billion. McKinsey says the ISV channel is growing 3 times faster. I don't know what is ISV. Integrated software vendors. Interesting. Software platforms that combine industry workflows with payments. Vertical SaaS. So McKinsey ISV channel is growing 3 times faster than traditional payment channels. The survey, roughly 90% of US SMEs reported using an ISV for payment or business management, up from 48% in 2022. To provide additional runway. Interesting. More importantly, McKinsey describes exactly the evolution we're interested in. I think this is interesting. Let me actually keep a copy of this back into my product research. I think this should be product should be a different one, and then this should be the research, right? Niche. Let me conversation with ChatGPT, right? Brainstorm. Okay, so we have that captured. We don't lose that information anywhere. These companies are becoming multi-product, which increases CI complexity. Okay, there's already 200 vertical SaaS companies. In F59, we're already multi-product. Multi-product companies grew over 20 single product PSP. Payments are particularly important. Median payment attached rate had doubled. Come software, payments, card processing, lending, payroll, AI, SRM. Every new product creates additional competitive variables that we track. Public vertical SaaS companies are still growing strongly. Service Titan is particularly good evidence because it's a pure vertical software. 17% organic growth. So I think the current jobber role sits inside a team called monetization and market intelligence. This is very interesting because distribution um, leads distribution. I think this person um, who is operating on monetization and market intelligence could be a good target uh, person to reach out to. Okay, I think it makes sense. Why I increasingly like niche, there's a structural reason CI may be mutually important. A normal competitor might change feature price positioning, but you change SaaS price payment fee. Okay, I think there's already a list of things that I could try and highlight in this. And because these companies are increasing multi-product, this complexity is increasing. Okay, so I think now maybe we freeze this for now and let's try and do something. There's already potential partners, right? So maybe let me capture these. Um, they have this notes function. Let me see how to get that in. I think I want to make a note of what are the companies, target companies, right? Oh, there you go. Target companies. Can I connect this? Okay, niche, target companies. Maybe I'll put this here. Home services, blah, blah. Let's see. Okay, restaurants, beauty, wellness, creator commerce, legal, fitness. Okay. And then I have ICP. Okay, this is more interesting. So I will go back and ICP, they sit here, 2,200 to 5,000 employees, 1 million revenue, 5 different blah, 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 blah. Okay. Now it's getting a bit more clearer on who are we building for. This is still in progress. Let's let this come back. My current asset market attention. Okay, well, let's go with it and see if AI is right. Okay, so now we have ICP target companies. Maybe we need to understand again, like the problems it solves, right? Um, problems to be solved, right? I think let's focus there because the problem first and then prioritizing the solution is the right approach to building this. So let's see how, okay, so now let's also look at, are there any other tools in this space, in this exact niche? Let's solve this problem. Would not find an established company whose positioning is specifically coveted as a multi-product vertical SaaS. Market and competitive intelligence in the graph. Okay, I think this. Oh, wow. 120 per seat per month, product hub, portfolio taxonomy. I really don't have an idea what is inside these products. Of course, we cannot build everything and look at how big this software is. I think we need to be a bit more niche down, overlap. Software specific CI, product graph, battle cards, reviews, pricing releases. Exact vertical commerce focus, no. Okay, competitor tracker and co continuous SaaS monitoring by SaaS competitor monitoring by category, high uh, Cinder, Scout, um, medium high, tide mark, vertical SaaS benchmarking. I'm very curious how each one has differentiated itself in terms of. Oh, the vertical SaaS knowledge project. Let's see, I mean, vertical SaaS benchmarking, the strategic data tools, high on data, low on CI. Maybe we could use the data from here for this, right? What is this? I mean, I don't know. Is Tidemark VSP a data provider? Is it available for access? Let's see. graph-powered intelligent platform for enterprise software with change logs, automated. I think, see, this is sort of a useful information that I can take because it's problems to be solved, um, how others features, positioning by competition, areas highlighted by competition, competitors, right? So let's do this and let me put this here. Um, I think we should get a little more detailed about that, but let's use that for now. The CI system detects changes, resolves them into structured vendor. Okay, I think, I mean, just based on what it's saying, let's maybe fly with Pyramid and try to niche down on vertical SaaS. So it's just about maybe the software is the same to keep things simple, and maybe I would prioritize between what it offers and try to narrow down and find some validation on the problems. And then I would build like start from the most important to the least important, right? Software company, product, capability. Says it tracks about companies of a 50 SaaS category. The product shouldn't just monitor web pages, imagine opening jobbers, and business for change their price. Your platform says interesting. Wedge differentiation. Okay. Median payments attach rate among surveyed vertical SaaS companies doubled in 1 year, while 87% of companies offering fintech products also offered payments. Okay, so Tidemark actually owns all that data. So could be nice if I did get access to their data, but let's see. Okay, so we've been doing some research on competitors, wedge differentiation. Uh, let's look at what maybe we should like do some research on what Pyramid actually offers now. Okay. Okay, so this differentiation, research, ICP, competitors, okay, target companies. I think this is clear. Now, I think let's look at to understand what the software really offers. Like, um, let's see, go back to AI. I want to understand what Pyramid software actually. ah, looks like what problems it solves and what exactly does can one do with it. What are some reliable sources for me to do that? Is this info available somewhere publicly? I think they have a Reddit channel. That would be interesting. No, they don't have it. Mhm. Mm. There you go. The whole software is actually here. I can use this for sure. Let me. Whoa. Okay. Let me put this over here. Definitely useful for me to see what's inside. Landmines. I'm already a bit overwhelmed looking at this tool. There's so many things going on here. Customer, ecosystem, product, gaps. Okay, these make sense. Opportunity matrix makes sense. The market makes sense. Mm, okay, these are landmines and objection handlers and discovery questions. Really, every claim is intended. Where's the evidence? Let me see if I think maybe if you click this, you could see where it's coming from. It's not very clear. Comparative religion teams currently have to assemble information from dozens of disconnect. It even did some prioritization for me. I don't know if it's the best prioritization, but let's see. Technology structured entities. See, it takes all this competitive website pricing page. Okay. I don't know where I can get internal docs. LinkedIn jobs for sure. Into structured entities, company products, categories, features, reviews, releases. Oh wow. Build competitive profiles. This is a competitive 360 page. You select something like search and pyramid creates structured profile covering such areas such as products, markets, positioning, customers. Thus, battle cards. Interesting. Clearest clue competitor. Okay, wow, they give away the entire product, which is kind of nice. I mean, I might do it too. So, okay. Oh, they got funded. Founded in 2024. It's already been 2 years. Hmm. Okay, so the pyramid seems to be an early stage product, so not like such a successful one. So that shouldn't stop us, right? So they've been around for 2 years. Um, what is the evidence that positioning as vertical SaaS, what is it called again? Vertical commerce SaaS. Vertical commerce SaaS can bring better traction than pyramid. I think this is kind of a unnecessary question. I mean, they're not doing so well, which is okay, maybe because they're not vertical SaaS. So they're probably approaching everyone. That's maybe their mistake. And maybe that's why I think what we have is could be different, right? And also the design decisions towards that should be different, right? So let's see what design decisions can we make to to be to be better here, right? So wedge differentiation. I think this is where it comes. I think some of this might still become irrelevant, right? So, but let's keep this for now. I think this needs to be validated first. Extract exactly what problems people, customers of these software vertical commerce SaaS softwares um, solve through these existing tools. This information could be very useful when doing copywriting. Okay. Service side and so on filings describe its platform on CRM, scheduling, inventory, human, fintech, including payments, and the real problems underneath those features are don't lose incoming leads, use technician capacity, win the job, maximize value, blah, blah. Job or customer plumbing, for example, moved quote scheduling, customer records, invoices, payments into one system. Technicians can quote, collect a deposit, get approval, and ultimately collect payment. This isn't merely administrative efficiency. Service Latent's Dispatch Pro is explicitly designed to match jobs. So, how are they solving it with solving these problems with the CI solution? Oh, maybe it's already here. Important CI idea shows why vertical commerce SaaS might actually be a meaningful category. These companies don't simply compete on software features. They compete on how effectively they improve the core economic equation. Okay. The vertical SaaS customers use service to solve operational problems. Here decide how to compete for those customers. Here, therefore, it's about the merchant customer problem, competitor solution. There's a competitor to solve it. SaaS vendor change product policy. Okay, the direct evidence of this. First, I don't see a role owns competitor objections, battle cards, differentiation, product relationships, and loss. Okay, what information do I consume? Six core decision. How do we win this deal? Information CI needs. Competitor features. See, I think here's where we are trying to understand what features to build. So how do we, what should we build? Competitor launches, gaps, customers. Okay, so these are, of course, the features we need to build in our product so they can make these, the customers can make this kind of decisions. And yeah, competitor common objections. Okay, I think this makes sense. Um, let's turn this into a list as well. So let's go back and problems to be solved. Problems, how customers solve problems with features, right? And then we put this here. How do we win this deal? Competitor features, pricing, weakness, objectives, reviews. Okay, so I guess we have certain features. So let's maybe try, I mean, to build the product, we also need to build database of companies that will exist in this product, right? And then, so of course, I think the more people we onboard, we obviously cannot have everyone, but I think slowly we can start with an industry and then grow from there. So we can start with, of course, vertical SaaS, Ablefy, and then grow from there. Because it gives me immediate feedback to go show this back to them and understand if this is actually useful for them and or which version of this will be useful. So competitor features, pricing, weakness, objections, reviews. How should we price the package? Discounts, fees, bundles. Let's go back here. Okay, so take the information CI needs and prioritize how we build the new CI platform for vertical commerce SaaS. Use clear evidence to prioritize between different features we need to build and how many companies we should have in the database and how do we scrape them. How do we figure out how do we scrape them a bit later. Oh wow, okay. Field service problem is economically conversion, blah, blah, blah. This is getting, oh, okay. Ah, okay. Okay, so I think I figured that you can actually add cards, and cards is a better way to represent like more detailed information. So I can put a card here and add, right? Here you go. Oh, this is the whole roadmap. So let's see. Where is whimsical? There you go. Why? Okay. Okay, well, it won't go in a card. That's fine. Maybe I will put it in a note. Okay, a doc. There you go. Priority roadmap. Maybe this thing is. Hmm. So perhaps door, this thing is already there. Um, What was that? I don't know. Okay, so I have the roadmap here. Docs. Okay, so now I have a roadmap, and let's see the roadmap. So pricing and monetization intelligence, strongest differentiation. So now I think the next thing is to understand what these actually look like in terms of the UI platform, continuous structured change monetization, vertical capability and economic lever model. I need a little more examples of what these actually look like. The feature I would make the center of the company. Java provides unusually strong evidence. Its monetization and market intelligence explicitly owns commercial pricing across SaaS and fintech payments. Java says it's building a pricing intelligence capability using competitive benchmarking, win-loss information, discounting elasticity, and experimentation. Okay, I guess we start with building pricing and monetization intelligence. I think this whole thing is actually super useful for me. See, it says company, SaaS subscriptions, you see plans, seats, locations, feature gates. Payments, card present, card not present, ACH fixed fee, instant payout, fintech, hardware discounts, promotion, and calculate effective economics. For example, okay, I think so collection should probably happen daily, but users shouldn't receive daily noise. Your system should continuously version these things. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, it's a very interesting challenge. I think it's basically to have a very clear uh, scraping system of the pricing and understand how its pricing and its feature sets and what they launch in affects its economics. So it's more than just like scraping, but it's actually creating some sort of intelligent packaging around what information we collect. Okay, I think we will stop for now, and when we come back, we will see how to turn this into. First, I need to understand this better, so we'll do that, and also start brainstorming on what an example, like just mock up a sample page and see what that looks like. We can do some screenshots of how that competitors look like and try to go backwards from there. Maybe just look at it in a critical way and see if that's working, what's not working, how could I differentiate, and then go from there. So, yeah, should see you back probably later today or tomorrow.